Well, welcome everyone, and we're glad that you could join us here today. We're going to be talking about Iggy, and we're rolling this out at CES as the future of hand hygiene. This is the most innovative change evolution in how we cleanse our hands since I can't remember when, since soap and water. So, as we walk through our talk today, if anyone has questions in the audience, please holler them out. We'll have a conversation about that. If you want to talk later, we can do that one-on-one. We can have chats. We can follow up. So hopefully you'll enjoy the journey as much as we've enjoyed the journey creating this product. Well, let's get started. First of all, who is this guy in front of you? Who's the talking head? Let's get a little bit of background on me. I know, we get the boring stuff out of the way first. My name is Chris Thompson, and I'm the CTO of 3OE Scientific. I've been involved in innovation for many, many years. I've done personal appliances, consumer appliances, industrial appliances, machines of all different kinds. But this is the most exciting program I've ever worked on. And when we walk through the rest of the deck and our conversation, I hope you feel the same way. So, any good innovation process, program, any new product development has to answer but one question. What problem are we solving? There are many solutions out there, but they're solving problems that don't exist. So the problem that we're trying to solve is that we're all covered in germs. Now, that by itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. An average human walking around has about 3 trillion germs on them. Most of those are very good, but every now and then, 1 or 2 or many that aren't as healthy for us come on our hands and we transmit them to someone else. That's what we're here to deal with today. So a few factoids. Everybody likes the quick factoids. 80% of disease can be communicated by touch. Now, there's other vectors, there's other means to communicate disease, but think about that, 80%. That includes COVID. Now, COVID's respiratory as well, but it's by touch. Things like E. coli, salmonella, things like MRSA, all of those can be communicated through touch. Another factoid is that 67%, about 2/3 of the working population is really not satisfied with what employers are doing when they return back to work. Yes, we've got 1, 2, 3 measures, but come on, I'm still a little nervous about what's happening. Over half of the workers want to continue to work remotely. I mean, hey, it's kind of nice, right? You go in the office in your pajamas. But the reason that's driving that outside of the social aspect of working from home is I really don't know if I go to the office, am I going to be as safe as I am at home? And 60% employees are concerned about exposure to COVID. Let's face it, we're all concerned about exposure. We're all concerned that we can get it, that we can push that along to someone else, our loved ones, our coworkers. No one wants to do that. But this pandemic, as terrible as it is, brings this fact to light very, very clearly. But when the pandemic passes, and even before the pandemic started, we can still transmit these bad microbes to one another by touch. And that's, you may or may not have heard, outbreaks of norovirus on cruise ships. That's a bad one. Flu. Think of kids coming home from school. How many children are infected with something, the ick that they get? Usually it's not bad, sometimes it can be. So, what problem are we solving? Our challenge is, how can we help break that change of communicable disease from surface to hand, from hand to inside of me, from my hands to someone else? That's our challenge. And as we walk through how Iggy works, what it is, what it does, keep in mind, that's the problem that we're attempting to solve. So, it's not that no one has looked at this before. There are two primary ways that people use to deal with cleaning hands. One's good old soap and water. And if I ask everyone, when did you learn to wash your hands? People, when I was really little, that's when I learned to wash my hands. Well, who taught you? Well, I guess it was mom. I'm not really sure. I just sort of learned. Alcohol gel and foams have come on, particularly as the pandemic, as the method of choice because they're convenient, they're easy, they're ubiquitous, it's everywhere. Everyone has gone and squirted something in their hands and rubbed them back and forth. But these two methods have some challenges that some folks know, most don't. Both of these methods are very technique dependent. You have to do it right to reap the benefit. You have to be exposed to washing your hands wetted with gel, for 20 to 30 seconds. So it's not the splash and dash, I'm ready to go. You have to do better than that. But even if you do it correctly, by the CDC guidelines, and you rub the webs of your fingers, you wrestle your thumbs, let's talk about the benefit of each one. We're doing it to reduce the level of germs on our hands. If you walk through the CDC recommendations with soap and water, soap doesn't kill these germs. It's a surfactant. It simply removes them from your hands and helps them go down the drain away from you. That's a good thing. But about 95% of the people can't seem to get it right. I'm one of them. I don't wash my hands as frequently as I should. I'm busy. I'm running around. When I do, I guarantee I don't do it right. I rub my hands together because that's what I've been doing forever. The alcohol gel, I'll do a squirt. I'm ready to go. So there are challenges in getting this process right. Even if you do get it right, the benefit is not all that folks think it may be. So along comes Iggy. Bottom line, Iggy in 7 seconds can remove up to 6 times more microbes than any competing technology. Not only that, it's safe. It doesn't hurt your hands. When your hands, after the process, they feel softer. And they continue to feel softer after each and every use going forward. That's the benefit of Iggy. We can talk about all the technology inside. We'll touch on some of that here. In 7 seconds, you get 6 times more benefit, faster, and your hands feel soft afterwards. So it's not detrimental to your skin. We do that through 2 primary reasons. One, we've got a mechanical water spray. Our product, you put your hands in, water sprays on your hands. It's that simple. Also, we use aqueous ozone. We create ozone in the water stream at point of use over and over. There is no chemical. This is all natural. We don't have tablets. We don't have bottles. We don't have replacements. It's on demand each and every use. So let's break those down a little bit more. As you can see on the screen behind me, a simple tap. You turn it on, water comes out. Everyone has seen this. Everyone knows it. In technical parlance, that's laminar flow. You've got a column of water, it hits your hands. If you want to wet your hands everywhere, you have to move your hands around to get them all wetted. Hopefully you can wet all those surfaces. And if you wash your hands with soap, the rubbing, that's the mechanical action. You're trying to loosen all of those germs from your hands. What we do is take both of those question marks out of play. Our spray is so wide, we use 10 nozzles, it's a fan pattern. Your hands are wetted 100% in less than a second. And the spray is really unique because it's a patented technology that takes a water stream, breaks that water stream up into uniform balls of water. These balls or packets of water now have a very high spin rate. When they hit your hand, they can loosen the germs and allow the ozone that is now in solution in that ball of water to be much more effective on a bacteria, on a virus, on a yeast, on a fungus. So, you hear me say aqueous ozone, aqueous ozone. For some, that's new. Others may know about it. Let's talk a little bit about what is aqueous ozone. It's not what you breathe in the air. It's not the smog in California. No, it is 3 atoms of oxygen bound together in water, and we make it in water. There's no gas involved. The important fact about aqueous ozone is when those 3 atoms that are linked together in a triangle bump up against something, a microbe for example, that one atom coughs up, gets bonded to the surface of a bacteria, a virus, a mold, a yeast. That makes a pinhole in the cell wall. You do it enough pinholes, the cell wall fails, opens up, it dies. That's really important because many other methods of controlling bacterial loads in your body have a different mechanism, and they work by helping the bacteria not reproduce and make more. That can lead in some instances to pathogen resistance, bacteria resistant drugs. That means the effect of the method of reducing bacteria lowers over time because the bacteria learned how to avoid it. We don't do it. You can't avoid dead. That's what we do. And that's very important because not only do we do that, we're strong enough to do that and break through biofilm levels. We're very strong to be able to do that and break through sporalized bacteria. These are bacteria that have a hard candy shell coating, so to speak, and it's difficult to kill them because I can't get to the bacteria through that shell. We penetrate and do that in 7 seconds. You can see, this is all the training anyone ever needs. You put your hands in, a little wiggle, you're done. It's all automatic. When your hands enter the machine, you can see every single part of your hand. Nothing is ever obscured. And 7 seconds, the water comes on automatically, it turns off automatically, dry it on a paper towel, you are done. That's as complicated as our process is. There's no chart with number of steps that you have to walk through. There's no, oh, did I do it right? Did I do my ABCs 2, 3 times in a row? How fast can you sing Happy Birthday? No, it's automatic. Hands go in, water starts, water stops, you're done. So that sounds really good, right? What's our secret sauce? There has to be something that is unique, otherwise everyone would be doing it. Our secret sauce is a little ozone generator, about the size of the end of your pinky. It's in our machine. And what we've been able to do is harness that technology and miniaturize it to a point where we can build an appliance. Right? That gives us a way to be effective against bacteria. It gives us a way to be effective against viruses, and that's important. COVID-19's out there, different variants of COVID-19. Also, influenza, the flu hasn't gone away. Common colds haven't gone away. Norovirus hasn't gone away. So we're very effective on viruses. We're also effective on bacteria. And that's important. Remember I talked about the bacteria that is sporalized. It has that candy shell, that hard candy shell coating. We break through that shell and we create a reduction in bacteria at least 3 log, 99.9%, and in most cases 4 or 5 log. That's 99.99 or 99.999% in 7 seconds. And it's not harmful to the skin on your hand. This is an eye chart, I get it. This will help teach everyone how to speak Latin. But hopefully this is just a little snippet to give people a flavor of some of our effectiveness. The total list runs down the page, across the floor, out into the parking lot. But some of these are common, you may recognize. At the top, Staphylococcus. How many have heard of staph? That's what staph is. Streptococcus pneumoniae. How many heard of that? Pneumonia, strep, right? These are things that people know and they get, and no one wants it. They're communicable by touch. We'll go down the list. Clostridium difficile. Now, some may have heard of it, some may have not. You may not recognize that name. You may have heard it as C. diff. Someone in your family or someone you know has C. diff. C. diff is bad, and it's bad in two ways. One, it causes very severe health consequences. This is not a common cold. This is what you go to the hospital to help treat. The hospital struggles with treating it because it's very difficult to eradicate because it is coated in that shell. And the current treatment methods are a really difficult time breaking through. If we can break that on your hands, we break the spread. It's very, very contagious by touch. That's good. The old phrase, it has to be safe and effective. We talked about the effective part. Let's talk about the safe part, right? If I cause harm doing it, that's a problem. We don't. And we'll talk a little bit about why. I went through aqueous ozone, a little bit about the science. But did you know that aqueous ozone is not new? It's been around for over 125 years. And it's in common things that you touch today. If you ever drank a commercial bottle of water, just bottled water, two things. One, the inside of that bottle has to be cleansed, right? You don't want dirty water. How do you do it? The water that goes in the bottle is ozonated. So if you ever drank a bottle of water, you've got experience with aqueous ozone. If you've ever been a competitive swimmer in the U.S. and swam in a competitive swim meet, high school, college, local league, anything, the organization has required that every competitive swimming pool be ozonated as a means to kill the bugs in the water. And plus, no one wants that chlorine, the red eyes, and it's itchy and dries my skin. If you've ever been to a great big aquarium, right? Boy, that water is crystal clear. You can read a newspaper way on the other side. But if you buy an aquarium from the local store, it gets cloudy before you ever get home. What's the difference? It's ozone as a way to keep the water clean and bacterial free. And lastly, a few other ones. Many municipalities are using ozone as a means to eradicate bugs from the water before it comes out your tap. Restaurants use it to keep ice machines clean. That's a trick question. You can win any contest. What's the dirtiest piece of restaurant equipment? It's the ice machine, folks. It's not the bathroom. It's not the fork. It's not the menu. It is the ice machine. But these are common examples where ozone has been used for years and years and years. So we should never be scared of aqueous ozone. The literature, the scientific literature, is chock full of examples of how aqueous ozone is safe. In fact, there's a paper, it was recently published out of Japan, and it compared the safety aspect of a variety of different topical antibacterials. And they had to compare it against something. They compared it against just good old plain water. Aqueous ozone is, in essence, the same safety profile as pure water. Many other things, iodine, right? Hydrogen peroxide. They are less safe. They make your hands red, raw, irritated, those types of things. So don't be scared of aqueous ozone. It's our friend. It's not just me talking. It's not just a bunch of guys who wrote papers way back when. We've done our own research. We've done a 3-year trial with aqueous ozone with many, many people, and these people span from adults to elderly to children. They use it daily, over and over. 0 ill effects reported. We've done our clinical research laboratory testing to develop what is our cure rate on the variety of bugs. Pick a bug, a bacteria, a virus, a mold, a fungus. It kills those at a certain rate, but it's also safe. It doesn't cause irritation. It doesn't cause sensitivity in your hands. There's no allergic reaction. And it also doesn't destroy skin cells. Now, one thing that's really interesting about aqueous ozone, we're researching this more and more, but aqueous ozone has been shown not only to kill bugs, but it can improve wound healing. Now, you just put your hands in. Most people don't have wounds on your hands. But if you have a paper cut, scrape your knuckle, something. That's important because our technology that's in Iggy Yes, we have it for cleansing hands and improving hand hygiene, but that same technology can be reproductized in a variety of other applications, and this is something we're really excited to look forward to in other applications. Now, sustainability. It's nice to say we're green, we're tree huggers. But set that aside a minute. Sustainability is something that's really core for what we do at 308. Sustainability is a good business process. It's not just a buzzword. And let's talk about a little bit of the sustainability of Iggy. So, Iggy doesn't create any load to the municipal wastewater stream. We're not putting anything bad down the drain that has to be dealt with at the water treatment plant. Because what goes down the drain is cleaner version of what came into the product from the wall, just like what came into your faucet or water fountain. We also don't add to the solid waste stream. Take alcohol gel, take alcohol foam, soap and water. You have to discard the packaging. You have to discard the product, the soap, the alcohol gel. It eventually goes down the wastewater stream. And as an example, a school system, a large school system, every semester goes through about 14,000 gallons of alcohol gel. 14,000 gallons. Now, the 8-ounce bottles, that's just shy of 250,000 8-ounce plastic bottles that go where? The neighborhood landfill. That's one school system in one semester. We don't do that. Are we an energy hog? No. To run a cycle on our product, it's less than half the electricity of a common household hairdryer. So that's meaningful for us because we deliver this benefit of incredible cleansing of your hands in 7 seconds with no ill effects. In fact, it makes your hands feel better with no impact or very low impact to the environment compared to other techniques that are out there right now. We're smart. We're at CES right now. It is the world's largest conglomeration of people who talk about techie stuff, right? And that techie stuff can be in cars, it can be in cell phones, TVs, everywhere. It's in our product too. And let's talk about how we use it. So, we can connect via Wi-Fi to the cloud. We auto fold over to cellular connection if the Wi-Fi is unavailable. Great, lots of products do that. What we push up are 2 types of data to the cloud. We pull them down, put them on a dashboard, and that helps systemically to use the product. One is how many people put their hands in. Now, if you bought it for your particular workplace, and you know you have 100 people in that workplace, in a day, if you see that there's 500 uses, okay, 100 people used it 5 times a day. My training is pretty good. My hand hygiene protocols are working. People are doing it. On the other side, if you put it in, there's 100 people, and it has 3 uses a day. Oh, we got some training to do, folks. I just paid a lot of money for this product and no one's using it. So what would incentivize someone to use it? We don't have a lot of instructions on the product. You don't have to read a manual. We use light cues. That light cues tell you, is the product ready? You put your hands in. Are you compliant? Did you do right? Or did the machine hiccup, or did you pull out early? Something caused a problem. Those cues are really important because this enables us to report compliance. And that's one of the biggest problems with hand hygiene programs and protocols. You can set it up. Everybody has to wash your hands. Well, did you? Oh, yeah, I sure did. And you believe it or not. Now we've got quantifiable means to track compliance. We even have an RFID reader. Some of our customers have said, you know, it's going to be really important for us. I want to know not only how many uses, there's some things. These aren't all the vectors that we can compare on, but these are some of the key ones. So we'll compare soap, alcohol, foam, and gel, and Iggy. Time, soap and gel, take 20 to 30 seconds. We do it in 7. Is it technique dependent? Soap and water, you have to CDC and rub in here and this. Alcohol gel, you have to assess it. In essence, the same thing, but you have to keep your hands wetted for that 20 to 30 seconds. That's hard to do. I know it sounds like a short time. 1, 2, 3, it starts to get really long. Water use. Washing your hands in a sink. We're saying it's about 1.5 gallons to 2.5 gallons based on average flow rates. It can be a lot more if you turn the water on and wait for it to get warm. We're 1/3 of a gallon every cycle period, that's it. Gel, there's no water use. Comes out of a squirty bottle. Well, somebody had to use water to make that. So it's much more than that 1.5 gallons to create the gel. But in use, there's no water usage for gel. Wastewater impact, we don't have any. The soap and gel have to go somewhere. It ends up going down the drain. Solid waste, the packaging for the soap, the bottles for the gel, go to the landfill. We don't do that. Touchless, well, soap and water, there's been a lot of innovations for IR sensing in faucets, and you rub your hands and those types of things, but you're going to be touching knobs and so forth. The gel, you have to touch the pump handle. You have to touch the squirty bottle. There's no touch. In, the water hits your hands, out. Are we smart? Yes, we're smart. Is soap smart? Not so much. Alcohol gel smart? Not so much. The money. Let's talk about the money. How much does it cost to wash your hands? I didn't know. It took quite a while to figure this out, because it's the cost of the soap, the cost of the water, the cost of time, the cost of energy to heat it. It all rolls up to about 4 cents per use, if you follow the CDC guidelines. For alcohol gel, it's about that same cost. For Iggy, it's about the same cost. But now wait a minute. You're saying I've got to buy Iggy, a great big machine. It's got to cost more than a bar of soap. Well, it sure does. But that payback happens in well under a year, and then it's 4 cents evermore. Where do we go with this technology? Well, the sky's the limit for us. Iggy, we're focused on public health right now, and we also have a parallel path where we're pushing for healthcare and our FDA approval. Public health, things where people gather. It could be sports venues, it can be schools. There are a lot of areas where kids gather together. For the medical device, it could be hospitals, not only with Iggy product, but this technology has a lot of other applications in public health and in the medical community. It's great to sit here and listen to me. I know I'm the most believable person you've ever heard. I'm the best looking, and really I'm a lot taller than I appear on camera. But other people have recognized the value of our product as well. And in this past year, in 2021, we have won the Consumer Choice by America by Design, a TV show that's a competition for all innovation across all industries. We have won the Best Tech of 2021. We have been nominated for an Edison Award. We have won the Best Solution by the Association for Learning Environments. There's a lot of people who recognize the power of what we're doing. It's not just us, and we want everyone to know it. We want to be the people who preach hand hygiene. It's good for all of us. It's not just good for you. Our solution is quick and easy. And today, we're happy to announce that at CES, we have special show pricing. If anyone is interested, please reach out, call, text, email, anything. It's 10% off during the show hours here. Contact anybody. We'll hook you up with the right people. We can get this product installed at your facility really fast, and you can start enjoying the benefits of Iggy in your location. So with that, I'll take a pause. I know it's sad. If there's any questions, I'll entertain questions, and you can ask them from the audience. If anyone is on the live cast, text it, email it, let us know if you have it now, or we can follow up later and have a more detailed discussion. Anyway. Thank you. All right, well, if there's no questions right now, that's fine. If you do have questions, I'm going to be here for quite a while. please come up. We can talk in detail about any aspects. We can dive into the technology. We can dive into applications. There's other members of our team here, from physicians to customer support and customer success. We'll be glad to talk to any of that. So thank you everyone for your time and patience. Have a good Iggy day.